Excuse me for this camera angle. I don't have a tripod and a desk. I was sitting at a desk last night, but what I was talking about last night, I want to continue with the description of Jessica Mitford, and it might have been her sisters or her daughters. One sister would use her diamond ring to inscribe a swastika, and the other sister would use her diamond ring to inscribe a hammer and sickle on glass. And then the idea was, well, a war of good and evil. Well, I found that it wasn't quite it wasn't quite so clear as good versus evil, the Nazis versus the Soviets, because the Third Reich, excuse me, the Third Reich was wrongly accusing the Anglo-Americans and the French. The Third Reich was accusing the Western Europeans of slavery and stealing all the land from Native Americans. Well, that was something the Spanish made up to defend their land claims versus the British and French. So the Spanish said, we have always, the Asians, the Pacific Asians, whom the Spanish brought from Manila to Central America, the Spanish said they've always been here. And we have a treaty, a covenant with them. So we have legitimacy here and you don't. So you can't take our territory. That's what the Spanish said to the British and the French. And the Spanish had been in America for as much as 100 years before the British found out that America existed. What was the point of that? On the issue of who's good or evil. Okay, yeah. The Third Reich were Eastern European aligned with the ideas that the Russians, the Hungarians, and all the Eastern European nations, Bulgaria and Romania, Germany, the Nazi Germany Third Reich movement was aligned with Eastern Europe. They were like the Soviets in their perception of history. So Adolf Hitler was saying that white America is guilty. So Adolf Hitler was alienated from white America. And so Adolf Hitler expected he was going to have God's approval for his ascendancy to be the leader of all humanity, because he had compassion. And Adolf Hitler was motivated by humanitarian compassion for all humanity. So Adolf Hitler was being a good Catholic. He says, I love all the people of humanity, and I'm going to win because the Americans are guilty of slavery of Africans, racial slavery, and the Americans are guilty of allegedly stealing the land from natives. But Adolf Hitler didn't know that the Spanish brought the Pacific Asians from Manila to Central America. So they found no people here. And Adolf Hitler didn't know it was always male gender slavery, never racial slavery. And so Abraham Lincoln was a fake. And he was the leader of a fake British narrative. So, and George Washington was also, the original Abraham Lincoln was George Washington, who was holding Americans' feet to the fire with that fake slavery British narrative. And I don't want to be annoying to Jessica Alba by saying the word albatross. I don't know if that's a real word. Maybe they just made it up recently. Albatross. There's a lot of fake words in the English language that are there in the Latin. The Latinos are making up fake words constantly, and so you can be fooled by a fake word. What if somebody had a Botox injection in their eye to make themselves look like they had a genetic problem, and they would make themselves look like they were undesirable, and then you found out later that they never had a genetic problem in their eye. So anyway, it's just a weird complication. The word albatross brought me off on a tangent. Oh, there's another bad word, tangent. Another made-up word, and there's a lot of them they were recently made up words. A tangent it's one of these Latin words found in mathematics that seems to be an English word disguised as a Latin word, and it means a tangentleman. So you go to your calculator, and there's a function for calculating the sine, cosine, and tangent. And you know what that means? It's a Jewish banker's joke. When you're going to have a bank loan application from a tangentleman, get a cosigner to write their signature in addition to getting their signature. Sine, cosine, tangent. Okay, haha. But those things are all found in the English language all over the place. So that threw me off. I guess this is a good enough video. I can't really get back on track after that.